Welcome to A Good Pour. This is conversations about good work in our community and beyond. Today we have Michael Lajoie, who is insurance and investment advisor. He's the current president of the Gallatin Chamber Board of Directors, as well as chair for Habitat for Humanity. He's an active volunteer in all kinds of things in our community, including Toys for Tots with Shalem Zone, the VSW. He's a former Marine. He has been one of my biggest fans and cheerleaders since I started this business. Always gives the biggest hugs when I see him. Just a joy to have you here today, as well as just in the community. Thanks for being here.
Well, that was a nice setup. Thank you.
You're welcome. I mean every word. I do. So tell us. I mean, you do a lot in our community, but let's start with what you do for a living. So what do you? Tell us about what you do every day.
So 32 years ago, I started an insurance agency. I built it in Nashville, but moved it to Gallatin about 6 years ago. And 23 years ago, I got my securities license so I can handle financial investments. So that's what I do every day. I've got a great team. My office manager lives in Texas. My daughter works. She's our director of operations, works here in Gallatin. And my wife helps out sometimes online. So there are four of us, and I'm recruiting a salesperson.
Awesome.
If you know anybody.
Okay. We'll just put it out on this podcast. He's looking for a salesperson.
Yes.
So tell us how you do good work. I mean, you've done good work from, your entire history. I feel like just even starting with who you are as a person and your Marines. But how has that been a part of your business career?
It's all service of some sort, whether you're in business, whether I'm educating and then serve after. But yeah, it's all service. So it's a natural niche for me. I don't feel out of my comfort zone when I do that, regardless. So if I'm the same person, regardless of which thing I'm doing,
right? Because
that's just who I feel I am. And there's a lot of satisfaction in that. It's really neat to do.
Yeah. So 6 years ago, you came to Gallatin.
I moved my office from Nashville to Gallatin, even though I lived in Gallatin the whole time.
Okay, so you had lived here before.
Oh, yeah.
So I feel like when I first started to get to know you, it was really just Habitat.
It was.
That was just 3 years ago or so, right?
Yes. Yeah. We had hired a new executive director who's now CEO, a friend of yours.
Yes.
Can I say the name?
Kate, absolutely.
Okay. And so she was new to her role. I was new as a board chair. So we were both different trajectories, but going in the same direction, learning our positions. So that required a lot of time. But then, knowing Kate, she's self-directed. So I just plug in now where I'm needed.
So that has clearly taken you off into other things. As much as you've done Leadership Gallatin.
Yes,
you've done Leadership Sumner. You've done Leadership Middle Tennessee.
Yes, I know that stepping stones. Yeah.
So how has that progressed, and what kind of enjoyment have you found? Really, you've risen to the top as a very busy community leader very quickly. So how does that feel? What has been the motivation behind that?
So when I moved my agency closer to home, instead of an hour and a half commute each way, it became like an 8-minute commute.
Right.
So I'm 7-8 minutes from my home, and so I had like 15 hours a week given back to me, and I thought, now what am I going to do? Because I'm like semi-retired, So Habitat came into mind because I went through construction before I got insurance. So again, natural part of my natural market, I guess,
right.
A natural niche. So I started with Habitat, just wanting a swing at hammer, and then, as you know, when you get in the nonprofit world, you get voluntold.
Yes.
So that led to board position, and then led to board treasurer, and then led to board president. But really, I think that the thing is, I wasn't afraid to step up, show up, step up, and engage. Mm-hmm. And I think anybody that does those three things is going to be successful in any nonprofit because they need the help.
Right.
And anyway, that's my answer.
And so do you feel like people just say, hey, Michael's who you need to help, and so you've been recommended? Has that expanded your involvement?
You do meet people, right? So there's only 24 hours in a day. So I try to stay with what I know because I think I'm more valuable that way. maybe someday I won't be needed in that realm, and it'll be something that's completely outside of my comfort zone, and that'll be new. I don't know, but it's hard to say no. So yeah.
Well, staying in something you know or have some sort of expertise and knowledge in is a good tip for that, because I know it's hard to say no.
Especially when you don't know where to plug in. Okay,
Right.
What am I going to plug in? Well, I'm comfortable, I don't know, growing plants. Okay,
Right.
well then that might lead to, who knows?
Yeah, awesome. So can you share an example of how just doing good work has impacted the community?
I'll stay with, there's actually two, because Gallatin has a station, and that's going to be phenomenal, Gallatin Chamber. But Habitat, being part of the very first subdivision in our county, is pretty exciting. They're building 9 homes on 3 acres of lot in downtown Gallatin, and it's supported by the community, supported by the local government, supported by churches and businesses and other nonprofits, and yeah, that's pretty exciting to be part of that.
Awesome. Habitat's had a lot of growth under your leadership as well as Kate's.
Yep.
Why do you think that's happened so quickly?
Kate has been able to build a phenomenal team. And when you get the right people on the bus is going to go to the right place. As a board, me personally, I think just providing, I set the example, and I bring energy, and we get the right people on the board. And it's easy to lead folks that are leaders because sometimes they're already ahead of me, right? I'm like, go, I'll catch up. So getting the right leaders with different skill sets on the board, and then Kate doing the same thing with her team, it's worked out.
Awesome. What is something that's helping you right now?
I was thinking about this because you did give me questions before. And I didn't want to give the same answers everybody else gives. So I'm going to come with taking care of yourself. I think if you feel good, you're healthy, then you have the energy to spend on the things that need your time and you want to give your time to. If you don't feel good, you're not taking care of yourself, then it doesn't really matter what you want to do. You won't have the energy.
Right.
So anyway, taking care of yourself.
I love it. So you are involved in a lot. You're very good at inviting people in to get involved with things, whether that's donating for Toys for Tots, mm-hmm. or just supporting a habitat build or coming to Pinot and Purses. You are now the board president
mm-hmm.
For the chamber,
right.
which you've already mentioned the station. So what are some ways that people can get involved and specifically work with you, to have the opportunity to work with you in everything you're already doing, as well as give your business information in case they are looking for someone to help with insurance or investment?
Wow. Okay.
All of it.
Yeah. So the first part, so I'm involved with the Gallatin Chamber. So if you want to become a part of that, or you want to know more about it, or you're interested in being engaged and a partner in the historic station, then you can reach out to me. I'm always around, and I guess we'll share my contact information later. But Kim Baker is the leader at the chamber, and you can reach her at kim.gallatintn.org, I believe it is.
I believe you're right.
Okay, good. And if it's Habitat, just contact their office here in Gallatin. I wish I knew Kate's email off the top of my head, but anyway, I can get that.
It's okay.
All right.
Yeah.
And I just see her name and I hit send. I don't have to fill it out anymore. So that's cool. And the Shalem Zone always has something, even if it's not to do with me. They always have something going out to help the community. VFW, if you're prior military and you qualify, being a part of the VFW in Hendersonville is a great opportunity to reconnect with like-minded people who've been through similar things. And when it comes to business, so I cover the whole state, actually. So I cover the whole state, and although my office is headquartered in Gallatin, kind of like what you do. You might be around here, but you're all over the world, I think. My office is off of Greenlee. The address is, can I go and just go?
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
So it's 880 Greenlee Drive, Gallatin, Tennessee, and Suite A105. And our phone number, you can text it or call it, is 615-670, sorry, let me correct that, 615-292-1250. You don't want my fax. So, but anyway.
You still have a fax, though, right?
We still have a fax. Can you believe that? But it's on the computer. It doesn't print, so it prints like a regular.
Just a document.
Yeah. Some folks have a fax. Fine, I just do it off the computer.
Yeah.
yeah, and then let's see, email. Oh, Facebook. So look us up on Farmers Insurance, Michael Lajoie Agency. Reach out to Catherine.
I'm happy to connect, of course.
Thank you.
Anything with insurance that's really good these days? I mean, we often don't protect ourselves the way we should with insurance, but anything you just would like people to know when it comes to insurance?
These are interesting times. There's a lot going on in the industry, and there's a lot of disruption. So I would recommend, if you don't know what you have, get with your agent and let that person at least, and that person I think really needs to know you, because I'll use you. If I don't know you, I can't make really good recommendations because I don't know if there's any gaps, or maybe, I don't. But the better I know you, the better job that I can do, and that usually doesn't happen through an email or a phone call.
Right.
Yeah. Now, I understand some folks aren't worried about losing their things, so much. They don't have so much to lose. Maybe they just rent an apartment and have a liability on their car, and so they have a different level of service they require. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But our agency is geared more towards filling gaps, avoiding risk, and so that if there's a claim, there's no problems or issues with the claim. I think our success, the longevity in our industry is a success. So if you're around a long time, it's not because you're the cheapest guy on the block. It's because you've got them covered, so when there's a claim, there's no issues.
Right.
Those are calls you don't want to make and calls I don't want to take. So it took a while. It took 2 years to learn that.
Right.
But for 30 of it, I've been good.
Well, and you said, I mean, it's the relationship, the
It is
building
a
of the relationship. So you can help me more because you know about my business and about my family and that sort of
Right.
thing. So it's that relationship that becomes so important. I love that.
I think when you see, because online sometimes you'll hear, hey, this company, my insurance company did me wrong this way. I bet you they didn't have a relationship with their agent, because if they had, I think that agent would have said, hey, that could be an exposure for you, and it would have been a different story.
Yeah. Well, I'm grateful to have you as my agent. So thank you.
Well,
You've helped
you.
me. I mean, it took me too long to get business insurance in general. And so thank you for your help in that.
Well,
and I'm just
honored.
even more grateful for the relationship we have. And I get to see you in the community and
Same here.
doing good work. So thank you for everything you do.
Thank you.
Thanks for being
I
on A Good
appreciate-
Pour.
Thank you for letting me be here.